I'm Dr. Marianna Dudley. I'm a research fellow here at the Carson Centre in Munich, and I'm based at Bristol University in the UK. My research topic is militarised landscapes and an environmental history of the UK defence estate. But while I'm here at the Carson Centre, I'm researching a methodology of walking for historians. Walking is an everyday activity that nearly all of us do. It's pedestrian, it's mundane, but it's also something that once you start thinking about and reading about, there's a whole world of literature and theory behind it. What I've been doing at the Carson Centre is tracing back methods of walking that can be fruitful for the historian. That's included looking at the Romantic poets and how they conceived their kind of creative process through walking in the environment. It's included looking at Dickens and other literary figures and how they found walking as not only a source for creativity but a way of observing the world around them. And it's taken on more theoretical aspects of walking. And with this in mind, I began to think there's probably a lot more in walking generally that can then be applied to other settings, other reasons for walking, including walking as a historical methodology. When you're a historian walking into a military base, you're already experiencing it very differently from how most people would experience it. Military bases are by their nature very restricted environments, and most civilians cannot and do not enter them very often. So as a historian, being aware of yourself during your research, it forces you to think about how and why you're moving in those spaces, and also makes you realise that you're becoming used to being in a military space, and that's a unique experience. So for the historian entering a military base for a second time or a third time, you're already aware that you recognise military signs, you're not afraid of distant gunshot, you're familiar with the sights and sounds of a military space, and you're part of the process of militarisation. So that's a really important thing, or it has been a really important thing for me to remember throughout my research. Now, when you walk on a military landscape, it's a really immediate and sensory way of recognising processes of militarisation in the environment around you. So the signs and the movements and the sounds and the shapes of the military presence. I don't think you can get those through reading documentary sources, observing maps, using the traditional kind of archival material that historians rely on. For me personally, understanding processes of militarisation has been inextricably linked to experiencing military landscapes themselves.